councillors want to curb what they call nuisance demonstrations at places like schools, churches, and hospitals. But it's raising alarms from some in the community who say it's a step too far. CTV's Danton Unger explains.
City Councillor Evan Duncan wants the city to crack down on where and how protests are held.
There's a place and a time, and I invite all of the protests to the government buildings where our leaders are making those decisions and not disrupting our communities.
The Charleswood Tuxedo Westwood councillor has asked city staff to look at creating a new bylaw, specifically targeting what he called nuisance demonstrations, those that include harassment, block pedestrians or vehicles, use microphones or amplifiers, or use offensive and hateful comments.
What we don't want to see is communities being disrupted with hatred outside of schools when you disagree with a curriculum. I don't want to see it taking place outside of churches when you don't like a specific religion. And I don't want to see it happening at hospitals where you disagree with certain treatment.
He wants a 100-meter buffer zone around vulnerable social infrastructure, including hospitals and healthcare facilities, long-term care homes and congregate living facilities, places of worship, public and private educational institutions, community and cultural centers, and cemeteries. Duncan says the bylaw would strengthen the city's ability to restrict or deny gatherings around these spaces and impose maximum fines for violators. But this isn't sitting well with Ramsey Zeed, the president of the Canadian-Palestinian Association of Manitoba.
This motion or this bylaw is ridiculous.
Zeed's association has staged several protests since the beginning of the Israel-Hamas war. He fears the motion would limit Winnipeggers' rights to protests like this.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to silence people from using their charter rights and freedoms to peaceful protests.
It's not saying you can't protest, that's a charter right.
Mayor Scott Gillingham, with the rest of the Executive Policy Committee, unanimously voted in favor of the move Tuesday. Gillingham says he believes it's a needed step.
Are there some restrictions we can put in place that still allow people to protest, but make sure we're protecting vulnerable people?
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.